The folks at DOOGEE sent me this DOOGEE S98, which has a rugged design and it's built for heavy usage, which is IP68, IP69K, and MIL standard 810H, which is a military grade certification for ruggedness, something DOOGEE phones are well known for. Though it looks rugged and tough, it has a dual screen that adds to its stylish design. It looks heavy because it is really heavy, and that is because its design actually can withstand up to 1.5 meters height drop. So that's why you can see it's super robust. The outer cover is like really thick. It's like putting a brick if you put it in your pocket. I wouldn't suggest that you put this in your pocket. But let's see what are the specs of this DOOGEE S98. It has a dial rear display powered by Helio G96. It has octa-core 2.1 GHz 12 nanometer. It has a 6.3 inches Full HD Plus LCD with water drop screen design. It has a triple camera, which is 64 megapixel, 20 megapixel, and 8 megapixel. One of the selling points of this phone is the SONY IMX350 20 megapixel night vision camera. It has a super large battery of 6000 mAh and supports 33 watts fast charging. It has a Samsung 16 megapixel front camera. It is an 8 GB RAM and internal storage is 256 with UFS 2.2. IP rating 68 and 69K with also military standard 810G. It has a side fingerprint recognition. It has NFC, which supports Google Pay, and the front is a Corning Gorilla Glass 5. It already has a built-in Android 12. There's some promotion going on. You can check the link in the description below that goes to Amazon UK. Unfortunately, there's no 5G here. I figure since this phone is usually used for remote places and usually does not have 5G, so it's not really a great loss. On my first impression, the first thing noticed when unboxing it is how heavy it is. It is 320 grams. This thing is chunky at 1.5 centimeters thick. With the size of my hand, I could already see myself struggling to operate one-handed for prolonged periods. This phone has a screen protector pre-installed, which is interesting even though it has a Corning Gorilla Glass 5. And it also has a spare screen protector inside the box. And this is super robust. I was actually told to just try to drop it, throw it around. But because this is so hard, it seems like you're throwing around a brick. So when I tested it, it's better to throw it around outdoors. Alright, now let's look at the design of this phone. On the right hand side of the phone, you'll find the volume buttons, power key, and dedicated fingerprint sensor. The fingerprint sensor is placed with a perfect reach with my thumb. On the left, there's a SIM tray, which you can put dual SIM and an SD card, which is really difficult to access. You need to use the SIM slot opener that came in the box, and this phone supports 2 micro SIM. Next to the SIM tray is a custom key function button, which I'm going to talk about later. At the bottom, you'll find a mic and also a USB Type-C port, which is easy to remove the cover, unlike the SIM tray. And inside the box, they provided a 1 meter USB Type-C to Type-C cable and a 33 watts fast charging adapter. And also at the bottom, you'll find the speaker. There's no headphone jack on this device, but it supports Bluetooth 5.1 for headphones, which is good enough. Looking at the display, the DOOGEE S98 has a 6.3 inches water drop display, which is LCD, Full HD Plus screen with a maximum resolution of 1080 by 2340 pixels and a 19:9 aspect ratio, along with the Corning Gorilla Glass protection. It's not that fancy, but somehow this phone, since this is built for outdoors, maybe you have to bring it to some remote areas, watching it in a Full HD Plus display is already good enough. After all, if you use 4K, I probably would use up more battery. I find the display bright and vibrant enough to look at. It is an LCD screen, so always on display is not available. This DOOGEE S98 has a rear circular display that shows the time and notifications, which is not available on the Pro version. You can change the display clock with the pre-installed options and also control the music from it. You will also show notifications and charging animation. The notification LED light is between the right side of the front camera, and on the left side are the barely noticeable proximity sensor and ambient light sensors. Alright, so let's now look at the cameras. The camera has a decent picture quality and the video as well. And there's no optical image stabilization, which I would already expect from this kind of phone. When taking photos, I left everything on the default setting. I took some decent photos using this phone, and also the dynamic range is not as wide as most mid-range phones, but still photos have been above the average quality. This DOOGEE phone has infrared cameras, which is quite interesting. I haven't seen any phone, or I haven't reviewed any phone that has an infrared camera at all, which is one of the main selling points. I put it to test on a pitch black room. I even tested it to see through my clothes. Well, it doesn't, but I can see through some of my electronic devices. I also found that you can enable night vision and use it instead of a flashlight to navigate around dark rooms, which is fairly useful than just normal flashlight. Most of indoor or outdoor security cameras has built-in infrared sensors, but finding it on the phone, and which is more convenient, especially if you go out at night, or maybe you go camping, or you can take this out in the mountains for trekking. There's a lot of ways you can actually use the infrared night vision camera. The DOOGEE S98 has Android 12 preloaded with the 5th of April 2022 security update, and it comes with a dedicated launcher called Quick Step. I find it easy to navigate, especially on the settings. I'm used to using the MIUI OS, but the Quick Step OS is not far from it. It's quite easy to navigate. I can find things well, especially on the settings, and even on the some of the features on the phone or software features. I find it easy and quite similar to the MIUI. So it's not hard for me to adjust. All right, let me tell you more about the Easy Key, which you can map to an action, and you can also choose to map it to an app, which launches it immediately. And just a quick setup, I actually set the Easy Key to open the flashlight. One press to switch on and one press to switch off, but not very convenient because sometimes I accidentally press it, which would actually trigger the flashlight by mistake. So I would switch this to maybe double tap or triple tap for that application. So single tap, I wouldn't recommend you using the single tap to activate something because it would quite easy for you to touch it, especially if you're holding the phone like that. And it comes to its performance. It is not the top of the line, but so far performance has been smooth on this phone. I played Call of Duty Mobile on this phone and exceeded my expectations in terms of its performance. Running day-to-day apps has been smooth and has been very reliable. And the battery life for this DOOGEE S98 includes a massive 6000 mAh, which is more than enough for heavy use for almost 3 days. If you run out of juice, it can be used as a power bank. It has a 33 watts charger and supports 33 watts charging as well. That will get you on the go in no time. With all those features that I've mentioned, with all those benefits, let me know in the comments what you like most. For me, I like the back screen feature that you can see from here with all its notifications and the clock, and also some charging animation. And also I like the night vision camera because it comes very handy, especially if you are in the dark. You don't have to switch on the flashlight. But to be honest, this phone is not for everyone. As you can see, the size, although with its benefit, but this is just too heavy for maybe average user. I would recommend this phone for those doing probably construction or maybe like doing outdoors, mountain climbing, trekking. It's waterproof with military grade ruggedness, and also it has a lot of functions that you can use as a tool when you're outdoors. Let me know in the comments what you think of this phone. This has been Christian from All About Me, and as always, I'll see you on the next video.